Hello and welcome to the Fools Rush In STFC podcast. We are here for another roundup of weekend action. Swindon were live on Sky, and in what was really a decimation of Forest Green that was worthy of Squid Game, the Robins got the points. I'm pleased to say that we are joined by most of the regulars, but let's start by the returning hero. Craig's back with us. How are you, pal?
It's great to be back, mate. Great to be back. Always
great to have you back. Ben, as always, is here. How are you, pal?
I'm well, Stephen. Yourself?
Very well. All noted up with this week's report. It's everyone's favourite scout. It's Ned.
Hello. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everyone.
And also with us as well, the man with plenty of opinion and live reaction. Young Rich is with us as well. How are you, pal?
Yeah, evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Obviously, we're a few panelists down to normal, but let's just send a hearty get well soon to Woody, who's suffering with a little bit of toothache, bless him.
Yeah. Our thoughts and prayers are with him right now.
Absolutely.
Hard time.
Obviously, there is only one place to start, and that is the Forest Green game. Rich, I'll start with you. You were there in the stands. I mean, we know how good it was for us watching at home. How was it actually being there?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. As always for an away game with Swindon. Again, coming down in our numbers like we did before. And do you know what? Very similar to last week when we played Bristol Rovers. Yep. You know, fans were singing. You know, just the atmosphere to be around everyone, just talking to each other, just positive vibes and everything like that. And then you've got that side of things, and then you've got what actually happened on the pitch. That was by far the best performance of Garnish Reign so far.
Outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely outstanding. It was faultless. It was absolutely faultless. I mean, we're against a team that was in form, top of the league, and you would have thought that we were the team that were top of the league. Absolutely outstanding. Every pass that we made. I mean, I'll admit the defence made a couple of errors, each individually. So Crinchlow, Automayo, and Conroy. However, though, they did. They were able to recover, and you know, I think that's the team spirit at the moment. You know, you've got your players, you've got your friends around you on the pitch that will help you out all the time, and that's what's so good about this team at the moment. And it's just the chemistry within the team, just the friendships in that dressing room at the moment. It's just positive vibes, and it's coming across on the pitch, and the results are showing as well now. And hopefully we can just keep it up. I mean, our away record at the moment is just
unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. And you know, yeah. So just great things at the moment.
And Ben, Rich picked up on a lot of different stuff there, and I'm sure as we go around there'll be various players individually picked out by all of you. I suppose the one thing to focus on, Rich mentioned the team spirit, something we spoke about a lot in last week's episode. But something else that was really apparent is we spoke about, were we going to miss all of the internationals, and quite frankly, you know, without wanting to be big-headed about the performance and the result, you didn't notice they weren't there, really, did you?
No, I totally agree. Each and every one of the five now have got a battle to get back into the team. Even Wollacott, you thought would just breeze back in. Now he's not guaranteed a place back.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to start, actually, because I know me and you and quite a few of the guys in the WhatsApp chat that we've got. We were instantly saying that was an unreal performance in goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, unbelievable. Lewis Ward, that's probably, since Brozoban, that's the best Swindon Town debut that I've ever seen from a goalkeeper. And it's probably one of the best all-round performances I've seen from a goalkeeper. It was faultless. That stunning save that he made from that header in the second half, that he pushed and got from almost behind him and pushed it around the post.
And
that
even
was
when even when he took the piss a little bit and decided to give away a penalty just so he had something to do.
Yeah, I know, and he stopped that. We'll be playing now. He still wouldn't have scored. And
2 days later,
they still wouldn't have scored. And you can't I know I've read people going, oh, what's Woolacott done wrong? You can't drop Woolacott. But you've got to say, Lewis Ward, I think he's earned Rochdale. He's earned a few days. And it's also a message. You boys, fair play going to play international football. But if you walk out of this squad and you lose your place, you're not guaranteed to have it back. That's what happened to Andy McGrath, and that's probably going to happen to all of them. In fact, the only player that I'd consider having back, and this is only because it's a home game, is Hayden, is Kessler Hayden. And that's because I think he's better at attacking and unlocking doors than old Hunt will. All the others, I think, will just sit on the bench because that performance was just unreal, unbelievable.
On that note, let me ask the other guys then, because like I say, I'm sure we'll pick out various players as we digest this. But in terms of the goalkeeping situation, Craig, I'll ask you first. Does Woolacott come back in, or as Ben said, has he got a job on to get that shirt back?
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Ben Garner's shoes right now. I mean, what a choice! What a problem to have, really. Yeah. I honestly don't know. I'm 50-50. I'm not sitting on the fence because I honestly just do not know who should start on Saturday. You know, I mean, Ward, like Ben said, I mean, that was just like the complete debut from Ward. I mean, that save, it was like Gordon Banks, wasn't it? You know, just absolutely astounding, and the penalty save. Like Ben was saying, if you get out, if you're out on international duty and you lose your spot, you're going to struggle to win it back. And I just don't know if it should be Ward or Woolacott on Saturday. The defence seemed very comfortable in front of Ward. I remember when we went to watch the Hungerford game, me, Rich, Adam, and Joe. And when he played, I think it was the second half he played, we could hear him shouting, and he was very good at commanding his area. So yeah, and obviously he's a big guy for a goalkeeper. I'm sorry, Pfeiffer, but I'm just going to have to. I can't answer the question, I'm afraid.
But what you have done is segued in nicely to what I was going to say to Ned, because take the penalty save and that big save that you mentioned there. That what was obvious to me was just the way he would come for crosses. Like everyone was out of his way. You knew he was coming for it. He was so commanding. You knew. At no point did I really have a concern that he wasn't in control. I don't know if you had that feeling as well, Ned.
I didn't have that feeling at all. I mean, I haven't seen. I was going to say about the debut, but Ben, hit the nail on the head since Brezovan. But I haven't seen, Swindon having two quality keepers like we've got at the moment. I mean, you probably got to go back to sort of Fraser Digby and Nicky Hammond sort of time when. Granted, Nicky Hammond wasn't the greatest every single game, but when you stepped in because Digby was, injured or whatever, you could always sort of count on him to have a good performance. But
you undervaluing Lucas and Smith there a little bit.
Phil Smith, Jesus Christ, Phil Mitchell. That day was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And you've got to say he's incredibly unfortunate with giving that penalty away, because that's the only criticism that I've heard from anyone is that he gave away a penalty, but didn't even touch him. He stuck his leg in, didn't he? It was ridiculous. But fair play, justice was served there. But I mean, me personally, on the previous question, I think I would probably have to. I guess it all depends on the Plymouth performance, doesn't it? Because if he's like shady against Plymouth, then you could argue, Woolacott come back in. Maybe it was just a one-off thing. I don't think it is, but there's an argument there. But if he has another cracker against Plymouth, then absolutely no guarantees that Jojo's going to come straight back into the team.
And Rich, obviously, you've experienced time between the posts, as they say. I can't remember whose it was, but I did see a tweet saying, and it sort of mirrors what the likes of Craig and Ned have said. Last year, Swindon seemed to have 46 awful goalkeepers, and now this year they've got two really, really good ones.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I think it's fantastic that we've got two really good goalkeepers. In terms of Lewis Ward keeping that number one spot, I tend to disagree with the lads. I think obviously he came in against Forest Green because he had to. We didn't really have a choice. And for his sake, he did a fantastic job. And like Ben said, it was an absolute faultless goalkeeping performance. For a goalkeeper, though, it's all about being consistent and keeping that consistency. And I think what Jojo Wallacott has proven now, although he has gone out on international duty, I do feel that when he does come back, he will retain that number one spot.
Because he hasn't done anything to warrant being dropped.
Exactly. He hasn't done anything to not. And he's always had Ben Garner's Ben Garner's always had his back, and he's put in faultless goalkeeping performances. He's got some unbelievable stat in League Two, I think, for most saves made by a goalkeeper in our league or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you can't take that away from him at the moment. I mean, it's great that Lewis Ward got a chance, and you know what? That's great to get him some games. And if Wallacott does get called up to Ghana again next month, then at least we know we've got a fantastic understudy in Lewis Ward. So, and I think it was good for Ben Garner to actually see Lewis Ward and what he is capable of doing. Obviously, he's going to be in goal more than likely. He will be in goal tomorrow even. So again, that'd be another good thing for Ben Garner to see as well, see if he can keep that consistency like he did against Forest Green, but also I think a lot of praise has to go down to Mildenhall, because he's worked with these two goalkeepers all through pre-season, all through the troubles, the crap times that we had during the takeover and everything like that. So I think now is just obviously making sure that both these keepers are fit, just in case something like this does happen. So it's fantastic for us that we have got two absolutely astounding goalkeepers.
Sticking with you, Rich, I know most, if not everyone, both here tonight and that couldn't make it, would like to wax lyrical about McCurdy. I'm sure we'll come on very shortly, but can we take a moment to discuss Tyrese as well, who I thought was very, very good again, and very, very unlucky to have his goal disallowed.
Yeah, I think the good thing is with Tyrese, he did get a goal, even though it was the way even though McCurdy, I think
he did everything for him and put it on a plate.
And I think it was debatable whether or not it was going in. I thought his goal, there was absolutely no way that was a foul.
He's being punished for being stronger than everybody else.
And this is the thing as well. I mean, there was a similar instance later on in that game when he was on the wing, which Tyrese has done several times this season. I remember him doing it against Scunthorpe. I remember him doing it against Salford. He goes out on the wing every now and then, and he takes the fullback on, and he just absolutely outmuscles him and gets a ball into the box. And this is why in the past I've said, he's great. His hold-up play as a striker is fantastic. But actually, you know what? I'd actually quite like to see him as a winger, because he's got the strength to get past. He's got the strength and the pace to get past fullbacks. So I think he's dynamic. And if we needed to do it, say like we got another striker, in January, I don't think he'd be completely out the squad. If we were to put like a winger position or change the formation around, I would keep him in and put him on the wing, because he's got the strength and the pace. But I think as a performance against Forest Green, he was brilliant. I think I think McCurdy and Tyrese complemented each other up front as well. Because I mean, McCurdy's got some pace. He drops off into the midfield sometimes, and then helps and supports, like as in a second striker for Tyrese. I think that partnership up front. Again, I wouldn't rule Gilbert completely out, but I think maybe use him more as an impact substitute for the time being, especially while you've got a player like McCurdy in form. I mean, you can't. And obviously going for his comments with Sky Sports afterwards, saying he should be, damn right he should be, after the And after the last two games, he's been absolutely phenomenal, and they both have Tyrese and McCurdy. So exciting times now, and I think Ghana might have found that punch there.
And Ben, on that note, pre-match, you know, when you were watching the bit on Sky, they were obviously focusing on the attacking players of Forest Green, and for Simpson to completely outshine them, in my opinion. I mean, obviously we're biased, but for him, in my opinion, to outshine, you know, like the top goal scorers in the league, informed players in the league, playing for top of the table, can only do wonders for his confidence moving forward.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, no, this is great. And especially as well for the goal that he scored as well. I'm so pleased that he got it, because he needs it. He needs the confidence. He needs the goals. And with each game that goes by, obviously he learns more, he gets stronger, and he gains more confidence through it. He's definitely already a better striker than he was when we had at the start of the season, undoubtedly, for sure. But he's got more and more about him, and makes you wonder how good he's going to be come March and April time, when it's the business end of the season. So yeah, he's gonna be a fantastic player. I'd love to see Swindon actually, if at all possible, look to purchase him full time off Ipswich, if at all possible. I don't know what his contract situation is like over there, but I definitely would have him on a wanted list anyway. Yeah, so yeah, I know I'm totally. I wish he had more support. I wish he had an experienced striker to work with. I think that will come in January. But the player himself, yeah, I'm happy. Like, he's 19 years old, so it's so impressive. He misses a few chances, but he's getting better by the game. And as you said, as everyone said, there was nothing wrong with that goal. Nothing wrong. I was fuming. He stood his ground and he fended him off, and there's no more than you see from anywhere. The ref just bottled it.
I'm not afraid to admit that
a referee had a horrible game, by the way. Shocking.
Yeah, no, to be fair, that referee had money on a home win on his because he gave him everything. Honestly, he gave everything to him. Let's make the performance even more impressive, is that he gave us nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit that when the goal was disallowed, there were various objects in my living room being thrown from one end of the room to the other, because I was not happy. Ned, picking up on what Rich was saying, obviously I wanted to give Tyrese his minute of glow, but McCurdy, what more can be said that wasn't said in last week's episode?
Oh, I mean, he's just fantastic, isn't he? I mean, he's got so much energy, so much charisma. He's so likable. He's I call him Harry Styles McCurdy. He looks like him. Harry Styles McCurdy. Yeah, oh my God. I mean, he's just such a danger. He's on it constantly. He's, you know, the amount of energy he puts into his play is unbelievable. And he, for once, it seems in his career, he seems to be really enjoying his football, and that's really good. Yeah, I mean, I want to leave it to maybe to Craig or someone to talk about McCurdy. I want to talk about the unsung heroes in a minute, if that's all right.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Do you want to go, Craig?
Craig, just picking up on Ben saying that Tyrese is significantly improved already, and just a few comments there from Ned. Ghana and the team have to take a lot of credit for what's being put out at the minute, haven't they?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the camaraderie amongst the team, that's not easy to come about like that, especially in such a short space of time, considering we only had 6 players that we signed, you know, that we had contracted before the takeover happened. But yeah, I mean, Ghana, I've doubted him at times. I think we probably all have at times, but blimey, you know, he knows how to put a team together, doesn't he? Him and the other Ben, and the whole squad, they just seem, you see it. I mean, not everyone's on social media, but when you follow them on Instagram, they just all following each other. They're all liking each other. They're all commenting on each other. There is a proper, this looks like, dare I say it, a team that looks like they could go on and get promotion this season, the way that they are going. Yeah, I said it. I said the P word. I never thought
it's taken till October for someone to say the P word.
I have to agree with Craig. I mean, just by the performances, by the way we're going, by our away record itself. I mean, if we sort out our home record, then
yeah, that's the issue. I think that's the issue. The only thing is when we have teams like Port Vale and Carlisle, and there's going to be plenty more like them that do what they did to us when they beat us. So we have to find a way of being that. But with the squad that we've got, with the potential that they've got, and we've seen how well they can play, really they should be getting into the playoffs at the very least. And you know, how many League Two clubs like you know could have got the same sort of options that we have in our squad? I bet there's not many, and I bet there's quite a few managers in that league that would kill to have, you know, the options that we've got. Sorry, Ben, you're going to.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was going to say we are the only team in this league who could lose five of your better players to international call-ups, 5, go to top of the league and do that to them. We're the only team. No other team in this league has that capability. I'm going to stick my neck out. We have the best squad depth in this division, and probably in a lot of League One as well. I think we've got the best squad depth in this league. One of the best 11, I don't know yet. That's a bit early to call. But best squad depth, I think we got it.
I'm a big fan of the optimism flowing through the veins, lads. But maybe as host, I just need to just say calm down a little bit. Maybe. You know, fantastic couple of performances and results, but you know, let's just see where we are in January, reassess and go from there.
Oh yeah, we'll be playing this back in January when we're at the bottom of the league, and they'll be saying it was all Craig's fault. He started it.
Let's just remember that I was the one who, in our pre-season prediction, said, "Oh no, I reckon we can make the playoffs," and everyone was like, "As long as we avoid relegation."
I'm going to quickly say, I think. You know, if it's not there already, but certainly within the next few weeks, I reckon we've got the best midfield outside of the Championship.
Well, you've read my mind.
It's incredible.
You've read my mind there, because I was going to come back to you about the unsung heroes, and I was hoping you were going to specifically talk about the midfield, who I thought were exceptional.
Oh, I mean, the performance was incredible. I mean, the points I wrote down was, you know, winning the second ball. I thought the closing down in midfield was absolutely fantastic. I wrote down we're getting to that stage where people instinctively know where each other are on the pitch.
Yeah.
And you don't get to that stage, you know, without, you know, the rigorous drilling of, you know, your tactics and your positioning, and obviously playing with each other, not in the sexual sense. But that probably does help, just to get into some wing. But oh my God, honestly,
you don't get it with excessive drilling and playing with each other.
I thought the fitness as well. The fitness, considering we didn't have a pre-season, I know that we keep harping on about it, but the fitness levels are just absolutely fantastic. Considering we've had quite a busy schedule with all this shitty blooming pizza trophy and all that, I think the fitness level's absolutely fantastic. And Ben Gladwin's getting there now, which is so important, because Ben Gladwin and Reed in the middle, and Payne, of course. I mean, that's the best 3 midfielders, as I said, outside the Championship. When they're firing, when they're playing well, there's no one better. There's no one better.
There was some interesting comments, wasn't there, made post-match about Gladwin, which I thought were. I'm not suggesting he was being called out by any stretch, but I thought he played really, really well, and it was like, yeah, he's improving.
So one thing I'll say about Gladwin is that he tends to be quite quiet in the first half, and then when we're not winning or anything like that, some reason Ghana somehow, I don't know what Ghana's halftime team talks are when we're 0-0, but some way or another he just flicks a switch and Gladwin just turns into fucking, I don't know, I couldn't even think of anybody on top of my head, but it looks, he turns back to 2014, 2015 Ben Gladwin. Like, do you know what I mean? He's just, I thought his second half performance was brilliant. I thought his second half performance against Bristol Rovers was brilliant. That assist for McCurdy's goal, I mean, what he meant from that cross, I'm not entirely sure. But it was just a perfect whip on it. And obviously McCurdy was just there to obviously put it home. So,
sorry, Ned, you wanted in on Gladwin as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, it's the intensity. Once the intensity is turned up from, the players running around him, he has more space, he has more time on the ball, and he can pick out a pass. So he becomes incredibly dangerous when the game gets stretched. So for me, the reason why he's not so dangerous in the first half is because he hasn't got that amount of space around him. I mean, he's not like a sprinter. He does close the ball down, picks a pass around, but when the play sort of opens up, that's when you can really sort of, put other teams to the sword. I think, his last two performances, I mean, have been so fantastic. And we're really seeing the old Ben Gladwin, which is, I just think, I mean, he's his own worst, he's his own critic. And he will say that he's still not firing at the best of his ability, but he's got to be at least 90% there now, I think. I mean, he's not quite there completely fitness-wise, but I mean, honestly, these last two performances, he's just been absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I was going to have something about Critchlow and Rob Hunt. I'm not sure if we want to get onto that now.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Yeah. I say with Critchlow, I think he's getting to that stage now where he's becoming invaluable to the team, because I don't think we've got any more centre backs, who's willing to do that sort of Sean Taylor-esque sort of run through the middle. And by him doing that, it opens up so much space in front of him as well, because obviously he pulls the midfielders out of position, and he's so assured on the ball as well. So it's not like like Sean Taylor used to do. It's like watching Bambi on ice. It's like a giraffe running, with his knees going backwards. But he is fantastic. It's like watching bloody Edgar Davids. And then, when he goes back to centre back, I mean, he doesn't often make a mistake. I mean, he's, quite likely to make the odd mistake, but doesn't everyone? He's only a young lad as well. Exactly. He's becoming invaluable, in my opinion.
We've got a young team. They're going to make mistakes, but which is fine. I don't mind them making mistakes if they're trying to do the right thing. If it doesn't always come off, that's fair enough. And these are young players. They're still most of them are, and they're still developing. So yeah, if he makes the odd mistake, that's fine. As long as he's learning from it and he's trying to do the right thing at the time.
No, absolutely. Did anyone have anything else specific they wanted to say about Forest Green before we move on?
Yeah. Can I just say, Harry McCurdy, what a guy.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Actually, I'll say something very quickly. One thing I saw on Twitter afterwards was about some fans. I think it was Great Western Reds getting kicked out.
Yeah, I saw that.
I just want to say that is an absolute disgrace from Forest Green, by the way, and I really, really hope that they get back.
If I've understood it correctly, it was something to do with they oversubscribed the amount of tickets, and in the end, a load of fans ended up standing on a hill.
Which is a load of bollocks, because they allocated us 1,200 tickets. Now, whether or not that was a mistake from Forest Green's side of things to say that actually it wasn't supposed to be 1,200, well, that's their fucking fault, isn't it? So, and then the fact also that they were escorted at half time away from the ground, so they couldn't watch the second half.
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
Ben?
Yeah, Dale Vince tweeted. He replied to Ollie. I've forgotten his surname. Yeah. He's saying that they didn't oversell at all, and the fans got to the ground too late, and the stewards did a great job. But there's only so much that they can do in making sure everyone gets in safely and well spread.
I know a few.
It wasn't an apology or anything.
I know a few people that were at the ground, mate, and it was because that the line to get actually into the ground was actually coming round the back, because they were stopping people because they were searching people. I don't know what they were bloody searching, because some person managed to still get a flare into the.
They stick porridge up their arse. I don't know how they get them in.
During Simpson's disallowed goal as well. Somehow or another. So the stewarding wasn't that bloody great. So
they're just a tin pot club, they are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think whatever has come out from Forest Green's point of view to sort of support their own claims, I think is an absolute load of bullshit. And I really, really hope that they get reimbursed their ticket money, because that's just not on.
And Rich, one final thing from me on this, on the game itself, and you're probably best positioned, but definitely better positioned than me to answer this. Forest Green, has been said a few times, play them, they're top of the league. I believe Swindon have come up against better opposition this season than Forest Green.
Yeah, I'd say so. And I think it reflects sort of in the game there as well. I mean, they were supposed to be coming in, and they did exactly that. And they had a lot of chances on goal as well, or a lot of chances anyway. And I just felt that we were just passing with ease.
Yeah. Was it we were that good, or they were poorer than expected?
I personally, so I did think about this after the game. I thought, did they just not turn up to the races today, or were we that good? And I actually think that we were that good. I think we were better than them. I think there's a couple of games this season that we just haven't turned up to. But and whether or not that was Forest Green, I don't know. I didn't think they played that bad. Because like I said, they still had chances on goal.
Chances.
They still tested Ward and everything like that. I will say, though, a lot of our fans were giving certain of their players some stick. A player called Sweeney was getting a lot of stick. And I was like, why the hell are we giving this guy stick? And I'm thinking, I wonder, do they think it's the Pierce Sweeney that we
Our fans probably do, yeah.
And I thought, I said that to my mate at the time. I was like, does he think that's Pierce Sweeney? And he was like, yeah, I think they probably do. I was like, yeah.
Poor bloke, for he sat in the change room going, what did I do to him?
and then he got subbed. He was a centre half for them, and then he got subbed, and then he was, I don't know. It was quite funny at the time, and then I thought afterwards, wow, whoever it was giving them the stick.
Rich, do you think that, because you was at both games, do you think that, because this is the impression that I got, that the Rovers game, it was more that, all right, we were the better team, obviously, but they were terrible. It was more, they made us look good. But whereas this time against Forest Green, we just outplayed them. We were the better team on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely outplayed them that day. You could have given us any team that day on that pitch, and we would have beaten them. Yeah. Or we were any team in that league, even. Sorry,
because that's what I was concerned about after Rovers, because I was like thinking, are we getting ahead of ourselves? Because they were bad. They're under Joey Barton, who seems to be in a decline as a manager, and they've got a lot of sort of players that have passed their prime. Were we getting ahead of ourselves? And obviously, they answered that on Saturday with a complete performance.
Again, I think it's down to Garner's halftime team talk, which I will admit it's got to be doing something, because you've got to remember, we were 1-0 down at Bristol Rovers. We weren't playing bad. We just let a lucky goal go in, like sort of thing. But I think Ben Garner knows we've got the capability in our squad to come from behind. And we have done that this season. We did that first game this year. I know we lost to Carlisle, but we went 1-0 down and we got a goal back, 1-1. But I think, obviously, with the halftime team talks, he's just like, right, relax, lads. You've got the capability in the squad to go out there, get a goal. It's not the end of the world. We're either 0-0 or 1-0. I remember my old coach used to say, it's like, if we were losing at halftime, right, let's reset, halftime, game 0-0.
Go win the second half.
Go win the second half. And that's all I ask from you. And that's probably what he does. And because you've got to remember, he's coached youth in the past. And he knows how to deal with the youth, because it's very easy for the youth to make a mistake and let their heads drop. He's got a lot of youth in that squad. So he's got a job to do to keep that morale and keep everyone's head going high. And I think he's done that in abundance this season so far. And I think as long as he keeps doing that and keeps that philosophy, I think this young team could do bits this season.
Let's
Hello, Mrs.
Hello,
Ned.
hello, Mrs. Ned.
Hello, Mrs. Ned.
Enjoy Mallorca.
Yeah.
They said enjoy Mallorca.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you.
Let's
Can I just say on that point as well?
what, on Mrs.
I
Ned
think-
going to Mallorca.
No. Ghana. It's all about ramping up the intensity as well for the second half, because you'll notice that it's a bit slow in the first half and it sort of picks up in the second. It's almost as if it's a fitness thing. I don't know if it is, or whether that's just, you know, me overthinking, but I think there's an element of, you know, don't push yourself 100% in the first half, you know, like Sheridan, oi, stop running. Slow down.
I will say that.
But, you know, because of the lack of pre-season, obviously our fitness levels aren't at 100%. I reckon there's probably an amount of, you know, push yourself a little bit and then ramp it up in a second, get McCurdy on, outrun them, because they'll start to feel it. I think there's an element of that as well.
I would say the unfittest there is probably McCurdy, but I think it's just because he's just come back from injury, so I tend to expect that. You can see probably midway through the second half, probably just after Simpson's after he set up Simpson for his goal, he was flagging. You could tell he was flagging. So I think for him is just to ramp up that, and that's probably why Garner's used him as a substitute the last couple of days, because he can impact, and he knows that his fitness level is not quite where it is.
Well, we've got.
I wanted to say about Rob Hunt as well, because Rob Hunt was, for me, instrumental in both of the goals. Because I'm not sure if you've noticed, if you look on the replays, he was there on the back of the defenders, putting a run through. He did that on both goals. For me, he's the unsung hero in the two goals. He gave Gladys, he gave him enough time to basically distracted the defender to allow him to have enough time to put that ball in the box. And then his run also allowed McCurdy to run into space. So for me, the unsung hero on both of those goals was Rob Hunt, who put in an absolutely incredible forward performance. And to be honest, if Rochdale's game was on Tuesday, I would still have it. I would have him in again over Kesler Hayden, because that performance was incredible, absolutely brilliant.
Well,
I just wanted to raise that one. Sorry.
No, mate. This is what we do these for, is so you can say whatever you like about every player if the opportunity is to arise. But you have mentioned there a game tomorrow night, and that is the reason we are recording on a Monday instead of a Tuesday this week. We have got the Football League trophy game tomorrow. Craig, is it a competition we should be taking more seriously? I'm not suggesting the team themselves aren't, but fans, especially in the early stages, are like, I'm not really fussed if we're in or out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's a Tin Pot trophy for the to develop the Premiership academy teams. Kick out the academy teams, fuck them off, and then bring it back to what it should be. You know, the only way to make that competition any good is to make it a group stage. We play Oxford, Bristol Rovers, Cheltenham, say, and you know that would make it interesting. You know, do something like that, localize it. But you put these B teams in who are basically holding football clubs like us to ransom by saying, "Oh, if you don't let us put the academy teams in, we'll reduce solidarity payments." So yeah. I, as you can tell, I despise that competition, and
I very much appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I think it needs to go back to just straight knockout like it used to be.
Oh yeah, all that, yeah. But the thing is, and what will happen eventually is you'll get two academy teams in the final, and you know that potential is always going to be there, and who's going to watch that? So, and it's also, sorry, this is the end of me on my soapbox. It's the thin end of the wedge of bringing in B teams into the Football League, which again is what the Premiership teams want to bring in. So, rant over.
Is there anything you'd like to add there, Ben?
Shit comp, innit? It's not producing for some of the reserve players that are not getting much of a look in. Bring them on a little bit. So they get on, but that's it. That's the extent of what it's good. It's for. I'll get interested if Wembley gets a bit close, but
But
I'll
is it
keep an eye
not,
on the score, but I'll
we,
see how some of the squad players get on.
well, we were talking about Ward, for example, earlier. Is this not a chance? He's just had superb performance. He's now got a chance to play a few days later, potentially put in another superb performance. Is there not certain positives that can be taken, even if the competition itself isn't seen as?
Yeah, that I agree with. It's much needed business for like the second string, the ones that like Leiden will probably get a good 60, 70 minutes and he really need that. And the same with who's that Frenchie? We got a centre. Baldry, that's it. I've name completely lost then. Baldry. It'd be good for him and some of the other squad players as well. So it's useful minutes because it's a competitive friendly. But it's
competitive friendly.
Well, it's what it is, though, isn't it? Really, it's a competitive. It doesn't really matter, but it's played in a sort of competitive spirit.
Well, given how
it's good, but
given how nonchalantly you've all spoken about it there, I'm not going to waste too much time talking about it. Let's just run around quickly and ask you all for a score prediction. Ben?
Could be anything. I'm going 1-1, Swindon win, 3-1 on Pens.
Ned?
That was pretty exact, wasn't it? I think we're going to do well in this competition, and I think Plymouth are going to put out a shoddy team. So I think we'll win in 90. I think we will win 2-1.
Rich?
I could have said either one of those scores, so God knows. I'll be optimistic. I'd say no, actually, you know what? I'm going to say 1-1. 1-1. I don't know what it would be on Pens, but I completely forgot. I completely forgot the game goes to Pens. So I'm going to say 1-1
and Pens.
Lottery on Pens. Yeah.
Craig?
I don't care.
Not bothered.
No, I'm not even going to check the result. Fuck that competition.
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't all good news for Swindon Town this weekend, as in Woody's absence, Rich will fill us in, because the game we were talking about a lot, the game against Oxford, it didn't entirely go the way we wanted, did it, Rich?
Yeah, and I personally, I don't think it was ever going to go our way. I think the squad sort of knew that. I think Woody has touched on it as well. I mean, Oxford, I've got to admit, everything at that game yesterday. I mean, there was a lot of Oxford fans there, and I mean a lot. There was a good 400-500 there at least. So I mean, they've definitely got a good facility there. They've definitely invested in the women's squad. And it's not to say that we won't, because I think in future we will. And I think it's already starting to happen. But there's still a long way for our women's team. And they've brought in a few. They've got quite a few youth players that are just making it into the first team squad at the moment as well. So it's a time thing. It's a time thing, and I think they'll learn a lot from that game yesterday. Obviously, a shame, because obviously it is a A420 derby, of course. But one person I did see there, and I don't know if I was expecting to see him, but our good old Scouse mate Carl Robinson was there.
Yeah, so I know you were very complimentary about having to spend a couple of hours in his presence.
Yeah, I know. Me and Woody were discussing it a little bit, but I won't say too much on it. Let's just say, we didn't spend.
You weren't stopping for autographs, should we say?
No, we weren't stopping for autographs at all, and we weren't stopping to have a selfie.
No.
No, we very quickly just walked past and hear him muttering in his Scouse accent. So,
Rich, what you should have done was go up to him and say, "Oh, can we have a selfie?" And then get him to take a photo.
Yeah, by the way, do you know who we are? Yeah, we're from the Only Fools Rush In podcast. You want a selfie with us?
Wanting to do the sort of weekly review justice in Woody's absence, and I'm hoping I've got the date right. You mentioned there about the amount of fans that Oxford had for this game. The game at the county ground is approaching for the women's team as well, isn't it? It's Halloween weekend, if I remember correctly.
It is the day of Halloween, 31st of October, Sunday, 31st of October. I'm not too sure what's happening with ticket. I believe tickets are going on sale for it. When that is, I'm not entirely sure yet. I believe they're still getting all the arrangements done for it, but it should be an exciting day for the women to play in. I know a couple of the players on the team, so and I know they're obviously very excited for it. And it sort of puts the women's team on the map, really, and it'll be a good fixture as well. Exeter, I know, I've heard that they're a pretty decent team. They're a pretty decent outfit, so should be a good game for them. And fingers crossed for a good result, a positive result, and hopefully
a good crowd. Hopefully
get a good crowd. Yeah, absolutely.
No, and we would implore anyone, if you are able to get down there on Halloween, go and watch the women's team. Get behind them, give them some
hopefully it won't be a scary result against us.
I knew it was coming at some point.
Hopefully it'll be a treat, not a trick.
There's obviously no fancy Premier League to update this week. I think that's the real reason that Woody's taken the night off, and not just this mysterious toothache that comes up when he can't be bothered to do stuff. So let's move on to the weekend's game, which Craig will be a bit more excited about, I hope. Rochdale at home.
Yeah, I think it's obviously it's a home game. I don't know. I think Rochdale have struggled to score their last few games, so that'll be good in our favour. I don't know what type of football they play. They're not doing too well at the moment. I mean, it depends, obviously, if they come and do what Port Vale and Carlisle did and just shithouse us. And I'm not too sure. The problem is at the moment, the league's very open. So a couple of defeats for us and we drop in the bottom half of the league, a couple of wins for Rochdale and they move up into the top half. So the league, the table can be a little bit deceptive at the moment. So I think it'll be a close game. We'll start off slow like we normally do, keep the ball well. And again, it doesn't seem to matter who will start after coming back from international duty, because as we were saying earlier, we've got some really good options. But I'm confident we can get a result against them. There's a bit of turmoil at the moment behind the scenes at Rochdale. I must mention they're having a sort of aggressive takeover, but this one is one that they don't want because they're a fan-owned club and always have been. They've been very good, always lived within their means. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I don't know if that's sort of affected them on the pitch, but I think Mr. Curran has been involved in it again. So that's never a good sign. But yeah, I think we've got a good chance. I'm positive that we can get a result on Saturday and a much needed home win, because we need to get some more home wins on the board, I think.
And Ned, what are the stats telling us in the Ned report?
Do you know what?
We introduced it. Guarantee you say I haven't prepped anything.
No, I didn't know we was prepping for Rochdale as well. I thought we'd do that after Tuesday's game. so I
they phone up there, right over in the league.
They're 19th, I think, aren't they?
Quick Ned report.
The Rich report.
The Rich report. No, I'm not having
Rich.
that. That would be an injustice to Ned.
No, it wouldn't be.
Well, while Ned hastily gathers some stats, Ben, what's your thoughts ahead of the game?
I think they'll come down and try and shit us because they've seen other teams being quite successful and they're out of form. I think if they come try and beat us at our own game, I think they'll get smashed. I think their off the field stuff has certainly affected them on the field. I think they've struggled a bit recently. I think they've got bigger fish to fry and bigger things to worry about. I think their biggest concern this season is to still be stable and still exist and be a solvent football club at this moment in time. So I think Swindon, who will be gunning out to improve their home form, I think we're going to win this one, and I think we're going to win this one quite comfortably by a few goals, possibly 3 at minimum. That's my guess. I think we're going to have a right go at them, and I think if we score in the first half, they're in trouble.
Are you equally confident, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we've got a point to prove. Really, we've our away record's been great. Right, let's now do it in front of our home fans. I think we've only won 1 home game this season, so and I think the last performance that we had against Colchester was 0-0. We just need to learn to put the ball in the back of the net at home, which we've struggled to do. So. Fingers crossed. And for me personally as well, I'd like to see us win because my team that I coach will be at the game, getting the incentive free tickets from Swindon Town.
Oh, sweet.
So I would absolutely love us to win that, especially on that one. So fingers crossed that they'll see a really good game.
And Ned, I can see you've been beavering away there for the last 2 minutes while we filled the gap. What have you come up with for us?
Nothing.
Excellent.
Absolutely
not
nothing.
I don't think.
What's their away form, Ned? What's their away form like? What have they done away from home?
They away from home, they beat Port Vale in the league.
That's a good result.
Pretty decent. Yeah. Lost against Bradford, but understandable. Yeah, but there's not much there. I've got to be honest. They've lost their last couple of games. And they haven't scored in either of those two either. So, yeah, I'm looking through their list of players, and I only heard half of them.
They got Kelly, haven't they?
I don't want to put words in your mouth, Ned, but when you did the Ned report for Bristol Rovers, I believe you either said they're crap or they're shit. The sort of the feeling I'm getting from the Rochdale report is meh.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is that the right word to describe it?
Let's just go with what I said about Bristol Rovers last time and say that it's no. In fact, no, it wasn't Bristol Rovers, was it? It was about Forest Green. Let's just play our game. Let's just not make any mistakes. This is going to be a different type of game. I don't think Rochdale are the type that get the ball on the floor and start playing it around and play for possession and all that sort of stuff. They're going to be fucking shithousery and being quite direct. That's what I imagine it's going to be. I might be completely wrong, but this is the test now. We can beat teams who play football. That's quite obvious. It's just about, as Craig said, let's try and beat the other teams now, which are the shit ones. This is why Forest Green are top, by the way, because they've solved that problem. We just need to solve that problem now. So, and then we'll be top of the table.
The Swindon connection as well is Liam Kelly, because he plays for them. He signed for them after being on trial with us.
Well, it's a very
little factoid.
I mean, personally,
you had a tumbleweed there after Ben's comment.
To be honest with you, Ben, was that there must have been a reason as to why why Garner didn't sign him. So
we signed Reed, didn't we?
I think it proves on league position as well, to be quite honest with you as well. So I mean, I've just looked, they're 18th. That was close. I said 19th. They're 18th, and they're 3rd in the league. I know there's not an awful lot of points between us, especially at this time of the season. But you've got to take everything with a pinch of salt. And I think again, like you said, like Ned said, I mean, we can beat the teams that play the nice football. Right, let's go beat the ones that try to shithouse us and go with our game, and hopefully Garner will.
He's getting his head round that now.
Yeah, and I think that's something that he hasn't quite got as a manager yet. And even when he was at Bristol Rovers with a really shit team, he tried to play that style of football and it didn't work. So now he's got a team that can play that style of football. Can we now beat the teams that are playing shit football? And they're the teams that are stuck in this league every season. So let's go do it.
I think to be fair, gents, that is the perfect message to end tonight's show on. Let's go do it. As always, I have. Oh, hang on, no, Ned has something else he wants to throw in.
Sorry, it was just with yesterday being World Mental Health Day.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, you know, I know that myself and a few other members on the panel have had some challenges recently. I just thought it'd be nice to sort of put a message out there for people to be mindful and to be considerate, you know, people they speak to, because, you know, it's a hidden thing. You know, you don't know if someone's got, you know, some challenges or some issues. Just be nice. Just be nice. Mindful. And you know, you might help someone with the condition, or at worst, you might make someone's day or put a smile on someone's face. So let's just be nice. Let's just, you know, be mindful of other people.
And do you know what, Ned? That is absolutely perfect. And you are right. It is a message that should be shared. I know there's been lots of talk in different media outlets about men need to be more open and stuff. And do you know what? I accept all that. But this is a message for everyone, whether man, woman, child. Just be nice. You know, if you've got challenges in your life at the moment, talk to someone, whoever you trust, friend, family, even if you want to talk to a complete stranger that you've come across and just seems a nice person, talk to someone, please. And yeah, Ned, you're right to raise that. It's a very important point for everybody. Sorry, Ben.
Sorry, no, my family have just got back from the mop.
Yeah, they brought you back a curry, so you look really pleased there, mate.
No, apparently my 12-year-old was sick on his shoes. Sorry, on his shoes.
So just to clarify, we're all football aside. What we've clarified in today's episode is Mrs. Ned is going to Mallorca and Mrs. Ben has sick on her shoes.
Yeah.
Wow. Lovely. And on that note, gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure, as always, to spend the last hour or so in your company. We hope you enjoy the show, whether you're watching or listening. And as always, we invite you, if you would like to get involved, to talk all things Swindon Town. We are a friendly bunch, I promise. You are more than welcome. We don't even have to agree with our point of view. We will happily have any discussion with you. Until next time, goodbye.
Night.